Alright, let's do more bishop of the same color endgames. This time with the knight pawns. Well, at least start with the knight pawns. The king in the corner is probably the easiest to deal with. There's no other way to make progress than to bring the bishop to b8. But the knight pawn always covers or splits the board in really long diagonal and really short one. And here the short one is way too short. So bishop here, trying to get here. Black kind of has to keep on the long diagonal. We just kick it off. They have to get ready to be coming here. We just move the bishop somewhere. And then they have to come to a7 to cover the promotions. We can distract it here if we want to and promote. Maybe better it would be just to go here. And now black's in a kind of a zugzwang. Bishop has to keep covering this, but the king has to be covering the bishop, but it can't go here, so something has to fail. Maybe a little different is where the knight pawn is, the king is on this side. So black has, on the corner it looks so restricted, but it covers this square, so it makes it very easy for white when the king is in here. This is a little trickier when it's on the, let's say, on this side here. Idea is the same. We can make progress without bringing the bishop there. We can have no blockading square because this is covering that square. The bishop is covering the promotions. Well, the same idea. Bishop comes to the, just a loopy loop coming towards here. If, well, this is the situation easiest if black just keeps the bishop on the long diagonal. We don't have to show any technique. We just bring the bishop to b8. They have to switch to the short side. We can move here, here, here. They have to come here, cover the promotions, and then we go here. And that's all. She wrote promotions and win. Black can be a little more sturdy after bishop h4 here and bring the king here. This makes it a little different now that our king is not here to cover this square. We have to work a little harder to get the bishop to b8. But we can do it. We can bring the bishop here. Now this is kind of a zugzwang. This guy wants to be here. This guy wants to be here. And this is like the only safe square for the bishop. And I'll show you why. They have to leave their home. Doesn't matter where it goes. We come here, threaten to go blockade this. Now black has to bring the kings here to be able to block or prevent the block. We threaten to go there, forcing king c6, but now this is an exposed square, and so is this, and so is this, and so is, oh, we couldn't have gone there, but now we can bring the bishop out with a tempo here. If it was here, this is not possible. Oh, black cannot take without letting promotions happen. But now we get here with tempo, and black has no time to come to bring the king to this square to cover the a7. So they have nothing better than just to keep the bishop on the long diagonal. But we bring the bishop b8. Then bring it somewhere, and they have to switch to the short side, which is way too short because bang, we distract it and promote. So this was like little more technique has to be shown with the bishop king here. In the corner, even though it looks restricted, it's the best square for the white for winning chances because it covers this square and that square. We don't have to do much work then. Bring the bishop around. Alright, let's look at them. One of the central pawns, they tend to be splitting the board in two long diagonals. Here usually this square is the best for the defending side, where it can always switch to the, or has two long diagonals to choose where to move when distracted. Here, for instance, white could try king e5. Black can play bishop here. King d5. Now black has to be careful. Something like bishop a3 would fail to check and block and promote. So white can... black has to be... well, usually the bishop e7 is a good square to go to. Here he can also play king f3 to get out of any dark squares. Again, of course, the king f4 is the same. Check. And block. And promote. But even king f3 works. But let's say bishop e7, it's most principled way. Usually. Say white tries king to d7. You can follow it with the king here. Again, it has to choose. Say bishop here. White goes here to challenge the bishop of the diagonal, but well, this is probably the best square for the white black king usually. Take away any kind of a blockading squares here. We can come here, and from here we can come to the both sides. Guess this is also working equally well. Maybe even this one. And now wherever white goes, we choose the other side. It goes here. We can come here. And there is no blockades because we got the king all the way here. White can try to distract us, but the long diagonal gives us a working room here. And whenever this goes, we just chop chop. You can mess this up, but usually central pawns blockade it unless you get to blockade the bishop somehow by force. They usually have a lot of working room there, so tends to be much more drawish. All right. Bye-bye. Until next time.